Have you ever wondered what the world was like when humanity first started building empires? Let's travel back in time, not just hundreds, but thousands of years, to an era of heroes, grand cities, and a revolutionary new metal, the Bronze Age. This period, roughly from 3300 to 1200 BCE, was a game changer for humanity. Before this, people mostly used stone tools. But then, someone, somewhere, discovered that by mixing copper with a little bit of tin, they could create bronze. This alloy was harder, more durable, and could be cast into everything from sharper swords to stronger plows. It was the tech revolution of its day, and it kick-started a whole new chapter in our story. This wasn't just happening in one place. Powerful civilizations sprung up all across the ancient world, all connected by this amazing metal. In Mesopotamia, cities like Ur and Babylon became sprawling urban centers with incredible ziggurats reaching for the sky. They gave us some of the first written laws, like the Code of Hammurabi. Travel west and you'd find the Egyptians, building their magnificent pyramids and temples along the Nile. Pharaohs like Tutankhamun and Ramesses the Great ruled over a complex society, rich in gold, art, and a belief in the afterlife that has fascinated us for millennia. Meanwhile, across the Mediterranean, the Minoans on the island of Crete built elaborate palaces like Knossos, famous for its vibrant frescoes and the legendary Minotaur's labyrinth. They were master sailors, creating a vast trade network. On mainland Greece, the Mycenaeans, the civilization of Homer's Iliad, built fortified citadels like Mycenae and gave us legendary figures like Agamemnon and the Trojan War. Further east, in the Indus Valley, cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa were marvels of urban planning, with sophisticated drainage systems and grid-like streets that were centuries ahead of their time. And in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, the Hittite Empire rose to become a military superpower, masters of chariot warfare who clashed with the Egyptians in epic battles. For nearly 2,000 years, these great powers traded with each other, fought wars, and exchanged ideas. It was the first truly globalized world. Tin from Afghanistan could end up in a Greek sword, and amber from the Baltic might be found in an Egyptian tomb. This interconnected network was complex, and it was powered by bronze. But its complexity was also its greatest weakness. Around 1200 BCE, something went terribly wrong. In the span of just a few decades, this vibrant, interconnected world came crashing down. Great cities were burned to the ground. Empires vanished. Writing systems were forgotten. Trade routes were severed. It was a collapse so sudden and so complete that historians call it the Late Bronze Age collapse. So what happened? The truth is, there probably isn't one single answer. It was likely a perfect storm of disasters. Evidence points to a period of severe, prolonged drought and climate change across the region. This would have caused widespread crop failures and famine, weakening the empires from within. As people grew desperate, social unrest would have followed. We see evidence of internal rebellions and civil wars. This instability was a golden opportunity for outsiders. We hear accounts of mysterious invaders known as the Sea Peoples, who swept down from the north, raiding and destroying cities along the coast. The identities of these Sea Peoples are still one of history's biggest mysteries. The complex trade networks that were the lifeblood of the Bronze Age also became a vulnerability. When one part of the system failed, say, the supply of tin was cut off, the entire chain reaction could bring bronze production to a halt, crippling armies and economies. It was a domino effect. Climate change led to famine, which led to migrations, and social breakdown, which opened the door for invasions, all while the fragile economic system shattered. The great Bronze Age civilizations, which had seemed invincible, simply couldn't withstand so many crises at once. The world plunged into a dark age that lasted for centuries, but it wasn't the end. From the ashes of the Bronze Age, new peoples, new technologies, and new ideas would eventually emerge. The survivors learned to work with a new metal, iron, which was more abundant and accessible. This would set the stage for the next great era of human history, the Iron Age, and eventually the classical worlds of Greece and Rome that we are so familiar with. The Bronze Age is a powerful reminder that even the mightiest civilizations can fall. and that our interconnected world can be both a source of strength and a point of fragility. It's a story written in metal, stone, and clay that still has so much to teach us today. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more deep dives into history. See you next time.